huge disconnect between how science is actually done and how we're teaching science in the classroom. And so many teachers have never experienced real research. I've never worked in a real chemistry lab. So I can try to go there with the students as best as I can, but the reality is I don't know what that looks like.
Teachers don't really have access to research experiences. By and large, teachers are going in and teaching something that they never experienced. Just think about that for a second, right? You're teaching a subject that you never actually did. How in the world can you actually do that?
Partners in Science is a program that makes a grant to high school science teachers, and it gives them an opportunity to do 2 summers of research within a real science research institution, such as a major university or research facility. What excites me about Partners in Science is it is a perfect example of what the Murdock Trust is about.
The Partners in Science program has been a key work of the Trust now for more than 20 years. The real vision for Partners in Science grew out of staff and trustees who really knew that science, technology, engineering, math, those disciplines had to be cultivated for all the advances that were going to be made in our culture. To build the ecosystem, one of the weakest places, weak links, was at the high school science level.
Been teaching for 25 years, and this has probably been the most impactful 3 years of my career. This was really my first opportunity to do real science research. And so when I was able to come back into my classroom and talk to my students about my research experience, it kind of gave me that street cred, right? He's done it. He knows what it's like to be in a research lab. Other teachers saw what was happening in my classroom, and they wanted to see that happen in their classrooms as well.
What excites me about the prospect of having a high school teacher in my lab that's going to go back to teaching is that the teacher is now going to have this other perspective, new perspective of what science is about, and that's gonna get passed on to the students. The teacher, maybe it's not a scientist, he's a high school teacher, but he can do science, and so can they.
Partners in Science is giving teachers access to the real world. You don't get that in any conference, in any program. This is a unique experience.
Partners in Science has actually been the best professional development opportunity I have had. I have tools now to guide my students in research. I am much more confident than I used to be.
This year marks our 500th partnership between a teacher and a researcher, and I've had a couple of teachers tell me that they were on the verge of retirement until they participated in the Partners in Science program, and it reinvigorated and revitalized their teaching.
I've been in the same school for the last 29 years. And during 29 years, you kind of fall into a routine and you forget to change with the world. And what Partners in Science did is bring back the whole newness of a lot of things, and there's so much more information, knowledge, and techniques out there than there were when I was an undergrad. Number one, I think it rejuvenated my attitude towards teaching. It got me back in the practice of not just following a script, but actually being scientific about the things I do and the things I ask my kids to do.
A colleague of mine has been involved with Partners in Science for the last 2 or 3 years and has completely changed the way that he has approached his teaching. I'm definitely going to apply for Partners in Science. I think it will be a great experience for me personally, but at the end of the day, it's all about making a more meaningful learning experience for my students and being able to teach them how to think like scientists, because I have worked as a scientist. There's no other way to be able to teach them how to do that.